right, welcome back to Kingdom Kast. This is your host, Bad Luck Chuck, and this week we are back. Sorry that we didn't get on last week, but everybody's on vacation. You know, we had to refresh our brains and get back to it. But we're back. We're back on it this week. So to the bottom left hand corner, my guy Country, and we got a son at the bottom, and the bottom right hand corner, my guy Boogie. And then we got a special guest this week on the top right hand corner. He's from RGR football. He's well-known Chiefs fan. He covers the Chiefs every year. He knows his stuff pretty well. So I'd like to welcome Daniel Harms to this week's show. Daniel, how you doing this evening?
I appreciate that. I like to think I know what I'm talking about, even though I feel like that's not even close to responsible to say at this point in time. I feel like we all kind of don't know anything anymore, especially when it comes to the draft stuff. And my mind is just fried right now. We've just got to get through the draft. So let's just get through it, please.
Here's the thing, though, man. Like, it's always a dice roll to draft every year anyway. So we're not going to be right, every year.
No, exactly.
Or we're lucky to be right on some of these picks anyway. So the best thing we can do is just evaluate and go from there, bro. But before I get into the draft stuff, man, we need to talk about Demarcus Robinson right out the gate. Demarcus Robinson, he came out in an interview, said he's ready to contribute as a wide receiver number 2. He believes he can have a 1,000-yard season this year and 10 touchdowns. And I did a poll on this yesterday, and the majority say he was reaching. 67% believe that he was reaching on that, and the other 33% was saying they could be realistic. So, what's your guys' opinion on that? Is he reaching a bit, or do you guys believe in his ability to do that this upcoming season?
Not in this offense. I don't think he could do that. Like, I don't think it's enough. The majority of the snaps or the majority of the targets are going to go to Travis and Tyreek off top. And then if they finally start getting Clyde Edwards-Helaire involved in the passing game, it's kind of hard to get 1,000 yards out of that. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. Can y'all hear him?
Yeah, it's all good, bro. It's all good.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. 1,000 is a lot. He could get close to 1,000, but I don't know if he can hit 1,000. It's gonna be tough. But he has been in the system with Andy Reid. I mean, he know it better than anybody else. We see he has good games, good spurts, but he's not consistent. I don't know about 1,000 though.
What's up, Jordan? Thanks for tuning in. He does have that house jumping.
I'll tell you this, though. If he gets to 1,000 yards, we are on the midst of an all-time offensive explosion, in my opinion. If he getting 1,000 yards and 10 touchdowns, that means Pat threw for over 5,000 yards at least, right?
I would think so. I would sure hope so. You're going to have 3 guys over 1,000 yards receiving at that point. They're not going to run the football at all. The thing about DeMarcus is, what he does best is it's really essentially go get the football. He doesn't jump as high as everyone else does, but he's got the hands to catch through the catch point with contact. But this offense isn't built to do that. They don't just throw the ball up down the field in terms of with DeMarcus. They just throw it down the field with Tyreek. Just go get the football. So it's an interesting thing for me. I love the mindset, but I don't see him for someone who's never gotten over 500 yards to begin with, like 1,000. Good. I hope you set your mind that high. Like, that's good, but I'm more apt to believe he's going to get 10 touchdowns than get close to 1,000 yards.
I definitely love the swagger and the confidence.
Yeah,
like that's how you want your receiver to talk. I hope McCole Hardman come out tomorrow and say the same thing. Like, I want you to have that confidence and that swagger. I don't think you're gonna get there. If he can get to 700, that would be a hell of a season for DeMarcus. 750.
Yeah.
5, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns. That's a hell of a season for DeMarcus, in my opinion. And I think then he'll finally start getting the money he think he deserves or that he should have been getting if he gets to that in this offense. Because it goes back to why we didn't get Josh Reynolds, that he wouldn't get the number of targets. He wouldn't get the yards. He wouldn't get the shine that he needed to go get the money that he wanted. So if DeMarcus can pull off 750 in 8, that's a hell of a season.
I agree with that because, like, that sounds a little more realistic to me. Like, if he gets 750, that's a hell of a year for him. And, like, I remember Louis Riddick, he tweeted about him a while back, and, like, he believed in his ability. Like, he believed in his upside a long time ago. We just have yet to see it because, like, his role is pretty limited in this offense. He hasn't had the opportunity. And it sounded like in the offseason that Brett Veach was pretty convinced that he was either going to roll with Demarcus Robinson or McCall Hardman as wide receiver number 2. Like, I still don't believe the Chiefs are going to draft another receiver or even get one in free agency. So we'll just see how DeMarcus responds, man, if he does get the job.
That's all you can hope for, man.
You see that he said that Veach them said that he was going to have a bigger role. I wonder what's up with that. They said that with was that Rimmers too?
Well, yeah. I mean, they
wonder,
resigned, so.
Are they? Yeah, I wonder, are they just saying that, or is that because they needed them as free agents, or what?
Yeah, well, I think Remmer is going to be your starting right tackle to start the season, so that kind of plays into that. And then you want your receivers to think that they're going to be more involved in the offense. You know, they're going to have to essentially force feed McCall Hardman in some way, shape, or form to get him the ball, because otherwise you have another wasted second-round draft pick on your hands, in which you really can't afford at this point. And unless he turns into something outside of just a one-dimensional slot receiver with some gimmick ability, which is essentially what he is right now, again, that's exactly what you're looking at. And Brett Veach does not want to stare that in the face. So they're going to have to come up with something this offseason to get him more involved in the offense and get him and Mahomes on the same page.
Okay, so let me ask you about McCall Hardman, Dan. Okay, so in your opinion, what do you think McCall needs to work on, and how can he improve in this offense?
So a lot of the things that go wrong with McCall is he doesn't run through his routes properly. Like he stops at a certain point where he thinks he's going to get the ball, but Mahomes wants him to go a little bit further through his route, and that's why you see the ball go over his head a little bit ways and a little upwards, because he's not finishing through a lot of his routes. And I know that he says he can run all the routes in the book, but the simple fact is he rounds off some of his routes. He doesn't get to the drop spot from some of his curls and some of his out routes and things like that, where he needs to be pinpoint accuracy, because this offense is built on timing and where you're supposed to be on the field. So he's taken some points off of his routes. He's not getting exactly where he's supposed to be on the field. That's where you see balls come in front of him. That's where you see balls go behind him and over his head. So Mahomes expects him to be in one place, and that's where you see the ball go. So as much as we see, Mahomes hit his target 90% of the time is where he wants the ball to be, and where he wants you to be. That's the disconnect between him and Mahomes. He's got to work pretty much exclusively with Mahomes in a one-on-one situation this entire offseason to get that feel down, because something's going on with him thinking he's in the right spot, but he's not.
He needs to pull a Garrett Dieter and just shadow Mahomes all offseason. Like, he has the talent, the potential's there, but it's just like you said, they're never on the same page. Yep. We made a point a couple months ago that they never really had a true offseason with each other either. It was a rookie year, you're doing this, you're doing that. You're not really, you're just trying to learn the playbook. Last year was COVID. So this year Mahomes told, but Mahomes, he's out of the boot from reports today, right?
Yeah, he's been at the Masters.
Okay. So, I mean, finally they get an off season together. Maybe we can get on the right page. It's close. It's just not there yet.
Yeah, and like Dan, you pretty much said the same things I've been saying about McCall, because we all watch the games closely, right? And we seen that when Patrick Mahomes and McCall aren't on the same page at times, we seen Patrick be like, dude, keep running.
Yeah.
Keep running to the spot. We see that all the time with them. So, yeah, Country, like you said, man, he just needs an offseason with Patrick, man, and hopefully the chemistry is better, because right now that draft pick is not looking good, man. Because if you're gonna draft that guy in the second round, you definitely gonna need more out of him than just score on like some gadget plays or whatnot.
I like to see him
McCollum's
put on like
the
20
only guy
pounds.
he yells at, too. I'm sorry, Dan. McCullough's the only guy he yells at too. Like he's the only one that
Not wrong.
like going crazy on. Like he's the only one.
He's the Mario Chalmers of this offense.
He's the J.R. Smith. What are you doing? Yeah, I like to see him put on like 20 pounds because he's so wiry, man. He can't play through contact all that well anymore either. So it's a difficult spot to be in for him. I would like to see him be more on the outside, but I personally see him as a slot receiver, which it's not bad, but you want a little bit more.
Yeah, for a second round pick, yeah, you definitely want more out of him than just being a slot. So Boogie, you got anything else on this topic?
No. What y'all think about Juju though?
Well, him
Like-
not signing.
Let's get this out.
Andy Reid, what you think
I know
about
what
that?
country thinks about it.
Let's get this out the way. I almost signed with the Chiefs. Get that out of here, bro. I'm sick of it. Trent Williams did it for a week and a half. Now Juju's on the media campaign. Yeah, it was the Chiefs. Andy Reid was texting me Lombardi trophies. Man, shut up. You didn't sign, so who cares? Like, bro, that's like really frustrating. Like, y'all don't get frustrated hearing that? Like, yeah.
Nope, I love it.
Down to the wire, and I was on the plane, and man, shut up. Like,
I love it.
Listen, I'm
I
not
do
really
love it, though, 'cause I think Juju gonna be here next year.
Hey, we shall see, bro. Like, look, I'm not really that frustrated, man. Like, it's disappointing, but at the same time, man, as I got older, I understand the business of the NFL, and now, like, some of these guys, they comfortable where they at, or like some of these guys, they more concerned about the bag really than per se contending for a Super Bowl championship. So that's not really a big deal to me, man. Yeah, it's frustrating, but I'm not super duper mad about it. So just gotta adjust.
I'm just sick of it. Trent Williams did it for a week and a half, bro. Like, for real. Like, they made a video and all. Man, I was on the way, and then Kyle called me. Like, shut up. I don't want to hear that, bro. I'm sorry. What was the question?
All right, so
Can't take it, bro.
we can switch to the Chiefs. I think Brett Beach proposed the single digit number rule. I think the NFL is looking at that right now. I don't know if it's going to go through or not. I've seen a few tweets about it saying, like, for example, Reggie Bush. What if Reggie Bush award number 5 instead of 25? He would have been great. I'm like, man, let's not get ridiculous here. I mean, what happened with Reggie Bush happened. Great college player, NFL, he was just okay. It is what it is. So to me, I'd rather stick with the tradition, man. Like, I don't want to get too crazy with the single digit number stuff. In my opinion, let the kickers have that, and like let the wide receivers have like the 10 through 19, whatever you want to call it. So that's how I feel about it. Anybody else can have the floor in regards to it?
I don't really feel no way about it. Like, it's kind of cool, though, that because they do it in college all the time. We should start putting stickers on helmets, too. Can we start doing that, too? That would
Let
be
the
cool.
players wear what they want to wear. I don't
Yeah,
care.
so, it's bad enough they already got helmets on, so you can't recognize them for real. Like, let them market themselves, man. It's all about money, bro. It's all about branding. It's all about marketing yourself, trying to get the most money you can, because your career may be over in 3 years or 5 years or one game, to be honest with you. So, man, let them get their money the way they can. They ain't getting no money in college.
Nope.
Yeah, I like it, man. That's the
Yeah,
mind. Let them be creative. Let them do what they do.
I want to see a receiver with 69. Just
Man, Gronk would have wore 69 too. That would have been the best thing ever.
Oh God.
You know he's the first one. You know he's gonna do it
Let's be real. He's as soon as he gets that approved, he's like, I'm switching right now.
right now.
So Dan, you seem like you leaning towards the idea of sure, why not?
Yeah. I won't. If you want to wear whatever, I don't care about numbers. Like I don't care about recognize you where you are on the field based on your number. I don't care about that stuff. Let them wear whatever they want. It's a game. They're getting paid to play anyway. Stop telling them what to wear. Like you're paying them. Let them wear whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean, I more so feel that way about the cleats and stuff. Like you can only wear like the custom made cleats.
That too. Who cares?
But hey,
Right, the size of your socks. You can't wear certain socks, and I can't wear black socks. Man, that's crazy, man. Just let them, as long as they got their jersey on with the team name in the front.
Well, as long as they don't alter their base uniform, who cares about this stuff?
boys, in this league, the NFL.
I'm with Dan 1,000% right now.
Yeah, and I remember somebody asked Tyrann Mathieu about if this single digit rule is approved to where they can wear single digit numbers. Somebody asked him if he would go back to 7. He was like, nah, like he just want to keep number 7 in college or in high school, and leave it at that. But I mean, it'll be interesting, man. But I don't know, man. Like it's whatever, you know what I mean? We're gonna watch it regardless. Right.
So what do you think about his other tweet though? That he had the Charles Woodson 21 tweet. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if it was more of a salute to Charles Woodson or I want to change my number to 21, which is like the classic cornerback number. You know what I'm saying? But that was like raising eyebrows because then it was like, well, what are they going to do with Breland? And that raised up a whole thing. So at this point, bro, like, what's the thing? You got to buy all the unused unsold jerseys. Like, is it worth it to change your number?
Yeah.
Unless you're a bum or something, or you new, you can change the number. But it's like when they first brought it up, I was like, Pat, you think Pat would ever go to 5? And then I was thinking, like, he's established so much at 15. Like, he got foundations. He got everything. It says 15 in it. Like, it would be crazy for him to change his jersey right now.
Yep.
Yeah,
branding right there.
Look at that detailed analysis from.
You got nothing else to say. I mean, that's PM 15. You can't do anything else with that.
Yeah. And Pat really runs Kansas City. Like, it's becoming more and more evident every day. It started with he getting drafted. Of course, we love him. But he's past, is he past George Brett now in terms of hometown Kansas City guys? Like, the guys that you go to, he's on, like, the Mount Rushmore of Kansas City guys right now.
He is the Mount Rushmore.
Because it's what, Pat?
You said George Brett. No disrespect. No, I don't think he was as big as Pat.
One of the most recognized guys in Kansas City sports history.
Yeah,
history.
Kansas City. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Pat got the kids, I think, a little more.
But I'm saying, if you in the restaurant and George Brett come through, he about to get the whole red carpet, right?
Yeah.
I feel like if Pat come through, they might shut the whole restaurant down. Like, yo, this whole back section is for Pat, Brittany, and Jackson. Everybody else got to go. Like, he at that level right now. Already.
Well, yeah, like with George Brett, I mean, he's been on this earth way longer than Patrick, but at the same time, man, I kind of like forgetting George Brett. He was a great baseball player, but forget him, man. I'll probably say Patrick Mahomes too, honestly.
I'll throw up a poll about it later.
Yeah, make sure you do it right.
Hey, I wouldn't be me if I didn't mess up a little bit. Speaking of me messing up, okay, look. Arrowhead Pride is hiring writers. So it's been a dream of mine or a goal of mine to work at Arrowhead Pride. I've been supportive. I've been a fan. I was cool with Joel. I'm cool with Pete. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of my guys over there. So I attempted to write. It's frustrating. It's just hard to write. Like, it's hard to sit down and write it down. Like, I can talk about it all day till I'm blue in the face, and I ain't even got to correct myself. I ain't got to put a comma or apostrophe here. Like, I hate it, bro. I want to do it, but I suck, bro.
But country, like I told you in the chat before we started doing the show, then I said, bro, all you need is just a few more reps, man. Like, just work on your grammar, or maybe get like an editor or something to check your work before it gets published or something. You know what I mean?
Do you write, Dan? Do you write too?
I used to do it over at Arrowhead, guys, but since I left, I don't write anymore for a number of reasons. It's very time consuming, and I don't have any more time to do that right now.
Yeah, with kids and everything.
Yeah, being a stay-at-home dad is not exactly conducive to being a writer.
Man. And I like freestyling too. Like, I was vacuuming my floor, like cleaning up, and I was like, all right, when opportunity knocks. And I wrote that whole thing like right then and there. And then I typed it up later and bought a month of Grammarly Premium, and oh God. And then people still say, yo, the grammar sucks. I'm like, God, I don't know what to do.
Not easy, man. I tell you what, it's not easy.
It's not easy at all, bro. Like, I knocked out 2 of them real quick though, but it's just, I don't know. Anyway, how far are we away from the draft? 20 days? 20?
Yeah, today's the 9th. So, yep, 20 days.
Wow. I thought it was like 30. Oh, okay.
So
cool.
Close. So close.
Yep. But
okay, look, should they move the draft up? Because it's between free agency, training camp, and combine. That's like too much of a gap, man. That you just sit. How many mock drafts you made since?
There's a reason they do this. This is all build up, so we can all talk that crap that people have been talking for the last 3 months of nonsense about Justin Fields. This is ridiculous.
Justin Fields, Mac Jones.
Can they move the combine later so we don't have as much space between? Because, like, I mean, it's genius actually, because we've been talking about it. Baseball season started 2 weeks ago. Nobody really cares. The Royals, they're kind of competitive, but nobody really cares. And it's all about the draft. And we picked way at 31. It sucks. Like, when you get the articles and it only has the first 10 picks and we're not even on there, you got to pay to see 30. It's like, oh, my God. Just let's get to the draft.
They got to give us time to watch everybody. Like, we have to watch. I'm not even like done yet. There's so many people to watch, man.
Yeah,
how many guys do you watch?
Well, ideally, I like to get the top 100 done, like the top 100 prospects for the first 2 days, and then just kind of get some sleepers in. But it's hard.
Man,
build your lists, go through the lists, cross-check other lists, rebuild lists, add name to the lists, go back through, man. It's a pain.
Yeah, I bet it is. So, like, with that being said, as far as what you have done so far, evaluating this draft class, what are some of the targets you're looking at for the Chiefs specifically?
So, with them at 31, I've really developed a sense that it's going to be either tackle or it's going to be wide receiver. Now, with Caleb Farley moving down because of his medicals, that adds a little wrench into the barrel, because I think he could also be a guy that they pick at 31 if he's there, just because he's one of the top corners in this draft. And if you get someone like that falling and you're confident enough in his medicals, then you're going to take him regardless. So I do like that option, but it's looking more for me like it's going to be wide receiver in the first round. That's the feeling I get. Everything I've done in terms of watching the tackles, they're not long enough. the Chiefs don't want someone with less than 34-inch arms unless for some reason they change their style of what they're looking for. The athletes at tackle are really different than they have been in most of the drafts. It's a very heavy athletic tackle class. Some of the best numbers that they've seen in terms of the class itself with the athletic numbers. So if they feel that they can recover enough and don't have to worry so much about the length, maybe that they take a chance at someone like Liam Eichenberg, who I personally really like. But again, we're trying to project something that the Chiefs historically and Andy Reid historically doesn't do. So I've kind of shifted my thinking of either they're going to stay at 31 or if they trade up to get a tackle like Darius off he falls. Because, he's left tackle. He's got the long arms. He's got size, strength, athleticism to be like the best left tackle in the NFL. He does. He just doesn't have the work ethic that I've seen. So that's an issue that could drop him down boards. And so the guy that I've targeted myself is Terrence Marshall out of LSU at 31. That's the sweet spot. And I've literally been talking about it for 2 months. And then Pete Schrager comes out yesterday with his mock draft, has him at 31. And I'm just like, finally, people, they understand that this is what I've been pounding the table for, because he could not only unlock this offense could unlock the other stuff in his game that isn't quite there yet. So he's my personal favorite fit for the Chiefs at 31. That's just how I see it. Yeah.
Okay. So with that being said, I do see Terrence Marshall starting to get a little popular. I know the Chiefs came throughout the offseason have been talking about Rashad Bateman from Minnesota too as another option at wide receiver. Now I want to go back to the offensive line. Because I know a lot of people have said this is a pretty deep offensive line draft class. So what you're telling me is that there's not that many tackles who have the long arms that the Chiefs are looking for in this draft class? Is it just a bunch of short arm guys?
It really is. It's the tackle class of like the T-Rex arms, as Ken Swanson has named it. He's just talking. It's ridiculous. Even Penei Sewell, Rashawn Slater, they don't have the long arms. They've got like 33-inch arms, but that doesn't bother me so much. When I watch them play, like their footwork and their recovery athleticism is more than enough to play in the NFL. And I think that they're still going to be top 10 tackles at some point. And so when I watch, I try not to just get lost in the arms, because if you can time everything with your hands well, you can fight offhand gestures. You can help get off of the long arms that some of your defensive ends are going to give into your chest. You can kind of swat them away and be good enough with your footwork to negate all that stuff. So it doesn't bother me, but historically speaking, the Chiefs don't want that. So some names that I've got down: Spencer Brown out of University of Northern Iowa. He's 6'8", a monster. Dude is one of the strongest players in this draft. He's also probably the most athletic for his size at 6'8". He's incredibly good with his footwork, but he's a right tackle too. So you have to consider that he's going to move to left tackle if the Chiefs draft him, or they're going to move what's his face? Niang, there you go, to left tackle. I do this like at least once a live stream. I'll just blank on someone's name. But yeah, Niang, there's a possibility. I don't know if I haven't seen anything about them moving him from right to left. But if you do take Brown, you know that you're going to move him from right to left. And that's where I assume they're going to bring some type of veteran left tackle in for a season. You've also got guys like Stone Forsythe, who's been climbing up boards, left tackle out of Florida. I really like his game. His pass protection skills are probably already NFL ready. I think he's got the length. He's got the footwork. The only thing he needs working on is moving people in the run game, which is weird for a guy who's 6'8" and 34+ inch arms, but he's underweight. He's like 306. So he doesn't have that mass to him yet. So you've got some areas there you can attack the tackle spot, but it's really on day 2, not so much on day 1, unless a guy like Darrisaw falls and they go up and get him.
Right. Forsythe been my guy. So
yeah, I like Forsythe.
Hey, isn't Marshall, is he related to a former Chief or something like that?
Yeah, Joe Delaney is his uncle or great uncle, I believe.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I seen that on a tweet or something yesterday. So sound like destiny to me.
That'd be dope.
I'm with it.
So how do you has center dropped down in needs? Have your needs changed?
No, you still need a center. You still need a center for the future. It's just that now it's about what your priorities are. And I think that, we've talked a lot about Landon Dickerson. If he was fully healthy, I'd take him round 1, and I wouldn't even question it. I would do it right in a heartbeat. But we don't have that. We have multiple years of injuries, this last one being, that ACL that even though he's already out of his brace and doing cartwheels around on pro days and doing army crawls up on Mac Jones at his pro day interview, like he recovered very quickly. I would be comfortable taking him in the second round, like the top part of the second round, maybe the mid-ish area. And if he's there at 63, you pull the trigger. Like you don't even question it. Also with Creed Humphrey, if he's there at 63, I'd probably pull the trigger there too. It's all about how the board falls. There's some guys later in the draft too at center. David Moore out of Grambling is a guy who I also think could come in and be a starter. You've got Josh Myers out of Ohio State come in and probably be a starting center. There's a lot of centers that can come in and be a starter. But if you want Landon Dickerson, you're going to either have to pay a price for it in terms of the first round pick or move back and get him there, which is something I've done a lot in mock drafts. I'll move back around to the 40s. I'll pick him there, pick up some extra picks later. But that's all just kind of shooting fish in a barrel. You don't know what's going to happen in the actual process itself. So center is definitely still a need, and that's something they have to address because you have to bring talent not only into the tackle spot for the future, but you have to inject it into the center position because without a center that can actually call out the signals and do everything you need them to do, the tackles and the guards still have to kind of do some of that themselves, and you don't want that necessarily happening all the time.
Hey, Dan, with a son and Reed, do you think we still grab a pass rusher early?
Early, no. I've even before they signed Reed, I was probably not gonna. I didn't think they were gonna take it, especially an edge rusher on day 1 or 2. It really just gonna. Again, I say this a lot. It depends on how the board falls, and sometimes if a guy like Jason Phillips out of Miami falls down to 31, that's gonna make him think. I guarantee you, it makes him think because he's the best pass rusher in this class by a long shot, in my opinion, and just medicals and the concussion history is scary. That's the reason that Mitch Morse is no longer on the team. And so that's something that they've clearly got in the back of their minds. But pass rushers fit for this team can be found on day 3. There's a lot of guys with the length and the size that Spags really wants in a defensive end. Now, if they're asking Brendan Daly to get more involved in the pass rush scheme and get more speed in there, you're still going to have some options, but that may lend itself to getting a guy, like Gregory Rousseau on day 2-ish area, probably second pick. But again, I have never really felt the Chiefs needed a pass rusher on the first 2 days. That's kind of how I felt. And unless they changed their philosophy with defense specifically, they do a lot of their own talent evaluations, L'Jarius Sneed, 4th-round pick. Like they have guys that they've targeted and that they have for a specific scheme fit later on day 3. So guys like Ellison Smith, Janarius Robertson, Peyton Turner even could be an early, probably more later day 2 guy. But still, there's a lot of guys that will fit what Spags wants to do. And that's just how I've always felt this edge class, especially if it's not very top-heavy in talent.
Okay, so I got a 2-part question in regards to what you said about Jarran Reed. First off, I want to get your opinion on the signing. I know him and Frank Clark used to be teammates in Seattle, and some of Frank Clark's best years when those two was on the defensive line, and Jarran Reed also had his career year as well. What do you think? Do you think he can help? Do you think that signing is enough to help kind of rejuvenate Frank Clark as far as him being more consistent as far as production on the defensive line, or do you think the Chiefs could still look at a edge rusher on day 3, like you said?
Yeah, I think this is – I like the signing a lot. I think that Reed's going to bring some legit pass rush juice inside the interior, that they don't necessarily have to move Frank and Taco Charlton on the inside to rush them on 3rd downs. It's going to allow them to really move Chris Jones on the outside and move him around wherever they want to. It's going to give them another chess piece. They can move Reed on the outside, bring Frank inside. So the idea, it works out for the defense, especially in the pass rush situation, and it brings a guy in that can also stop the run, which is something they needed without Mike Pinnell. To getting to Frank Clark, it's never going to be about who is on the line outside of Chris Jones, because those two are enough to get pressure. It's about his health. He looked like he was down at least 20 pounds last year because his stomach bug, whatever is going on with his stomach, and that generally, will take away from a lot of what he does as a pass rusher. He's not really built on speed. He's more speed to power, and he uses his bull rush a lot. He gets stuck when he can't move a guy, and that's really when you see him try to do some type of spin move with the ice pick with his elbow and things like that, and he gets stuck. So if he can start to generate more power, maybe he looks a bit healthier this next season. I don't think it would have mattered with Reed. He still would have been better, but it's going to be really up to him and his medical, whatever's going on, to be at his top peak. But I do still believe, especially if they don't bring in Melvin Ingram, who's still mulling over options, a month into free agency, whatever he's doing with this time. Day 3 is an option at edge rusher. They're still going to probably take a look.
Yeah, the stomach bug issue is weird, man. Like, it's been like that since he's gotten here, man.
Yeah.
Like, he keeps having these stomach bug issues. Like, I don't know if it's something up with his diet or what. It's just weird. I don't know.
And what is Ingram mulling over? It ain't out there. It ain't happened yet. He might as well come and get with us. He wants multiple years. It's not happening, bro.
No.
My kids are getting crazy, bro.
Yeah, like, okay, so, like, what teams is he trying to decide on besides us? What other teams been looking at him? What other teams?
I know he's got offers. I just don't know where they're from.
Who offered him? I haven't
Yeah,
even
who
seen
offered
anybody offer him nothing. I haven't even seen him visit anybody else.
Right.
It's an interesting.
The Ravens trying to get Justin Houston, though. That's crazy.
I'd be okay with the Houston back to KC situation.
Right.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, bro.
It probably won't because of the organization, but I'd be okay with it.
Yeah.
I think his problem was more Dorsey than anybody else. So,
Medical staff?
huh?
Oh, the medical staff or what? With his how they
Nah,
handled it?
he's gonna go outside and do his own medical thing, and we see how that worked out. So I don't know, maybe that, but I think it was more of a Dorsey, Eric Berry, like they were so tight, and Dorsey kind of. It's a long story, but it may be an option, but I don't think so. But like I said, who was even visiting with Melvin Ingram? Like, nobody. So you said we covered tackles, we covered wide receivers, we covered centers. What about tight ends? Besides Tommy Tremble, everybody gonna say Tommy Tremble. I'm on the bandwagon too. But who else is out there? What about Brevin Jordan? Those are the 3. Well, him and Kyle Pitts, of course. We're not getting Kyle Pitts. So those are the 3 names I hear all the time. Is there anybody else out there?
So, the thing about tight end is I think that they don't care. I don't think that they have any care in the world to bring in a guy who's not Travis Kelce to compete for tight end too. That might change. I know that, Kenny Yeboah out of Ole Miss is a guy that I personally like myself as a field stretching type of tight end too. They can also bring some run blocking to it. But they just brought in Blake Bell. They don't seem to care about the tight end 2 position. And we also know, at least from my perspective, Ryan has told me that Jody Fortson is training to be a tight end. So they have him on the roster too, who they could use in 2 tight end situations and really play with people in the red zone, which I would love. But they're not going to do that because who wants to throw the ball to a guy who's 6'8"? It only makes sense, right?
Yeah, I like Fortson too, man. So, man, we gotta wrap it up a little bit because Daniel has a whole life. But we appreciate you taking on. Huh? Go ahead.
Real quick, before we move on from the draft, can we talk about these horrific draft hats, man? Why are these draft hats still terrible, man? I'm looking at this draft hat, man. Like
the NFL knows they'll buy them. They don't care.
Like this looks like a hat you buy from a gas station, dude. Like,
yeah, it looks. I didn't think it was real at first. I was like, "What is that?"
I feel bad for the prospects that have to wear them. Like they have to.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Trash.
But nah, country, go ahead, bro.
So, man, we want to thank our guest, Dan Harms. He's a great guy. He does a lot with Ryan Tracy and Ryan Gore Road. They got a nice YouTube channel that I'll check out often. Great guys. I got to get Ryan. You got to get me in contact with Ryan, too.
Yeah, we'll do. You could always DM him, too, I would think.
Yes, sir. So, man, we learned a lot. Like I said, I'm just ready for the draft at this
Dude,
point.
me too. I'm ready to stop doing prospect reviews. I can tell you that much.
We've been over through it tens of times. So, man, just keep doing your film thing, man. I love the videos. I love the insight. I love everything you do, man. Just keep doing it, and we'll definitely have you back soon, man.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you guys having me on. It's a lot of fun to just talk football. Like, it's mostly I get to watch football, write football, but when I get to actually talk it, it's when I actually feel most comfortable.
Yeah,
That's
definitely.
for a lot of people.
That's how I feel too. That's why I can't write.
Hey,
I
Dan
rather
was
talk
Team
about it,
Sammy
man.
too. Dan was Team Sammy too.
Yeah,
Playoff Sammy.
I miss him.
Playoffs.
I miss him. Always miss him. Miss him in the season too, but here we are.
It is what it is.
Appreciate you, Dan.
Appreciate you guys.
Yeah,
All
thank you
right.
for coming on, man. Appreciate you.
Definitely. So we do have to talk about Sammy, though. The playoff Sammy has come to an end.
Yep. So yeah, he's in Baltimore now, officially. I didn't see the interview exactly. I did see it like come up on the timeline, but I didn't see exactly what he said in regards to us. Did you watch the full interview, Country or Boogie?
No.
No, I seen little tweets on it, some stuff that was said, but
Hey, but isn't it funny though? He talking more about Kansas City than he is Baltimore. I didn't see him really talk about Baltimore. He was taking plays. This was my best play of my career, and I did this in Kansas City. I did that in Kansas City. Like, he didn't sound happy to move on. He just sounded like I'm going to Baltimore. So
Actually, I do remember a clip. I remember he was talking about the current Baltimore wide receiver core, and he was just talking about hope I just come in here and help these guys get open or whatever. And some people felt like they took a shot at the receiving core. I'm like, I didn't really hear it as like a shot towards those guys, but he was just more so hoping to help the guys out a little more as a unit, like come together more as a unit to help Lamar out, man, because Lamar was kind of hung out to dry last year in certain matchups.
when it comes to quarterbacking, is Lamar good? Is he a good quarterback? He's a dynamic athlete, but when it comes to like strictly passing, he's okay. He's above average, but he's not great. He's not a great, huh?
Sammy will help. I think he'll be good with Baltimore. He's a good run blocker too.
Yeah, Sammy do the dirty stuff, bro. That's what he did here. That helped out a whole lot. He do the dirty, the blocking, that type of stuff. But I don't know.
Stay healthy.
He should be good.
$1,000 receiver with Lamar. He ain't gonna stay healthy, but if he can get 16,
if he stay healthy,
that's the
thing.
That's it. Yeah.
Hey man, don't do Sammy, bro. I'm still trying to get that interview with Sammy, bro.
Hey, listen.
I hope too.
Sammy know.
Yeah.
He know he been on
True.
the field, bro.
He
Yeah.
said he wants to stay healthy this year, though, man. He know what's up. Yeah, he can do good, man.
I'm about to say he not hurt at all, so he good. He good. But
I'm still pressing for that interview. I'm gonna get him. So, man, let's wrap it up, man. We that closer to the draft. Thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for subscribing. We went over 50 subscribers this week. We're trying to get to 100. What?
Hold on. Before we go, I know y'all too. I know everybody's on vacation. I mean, specifically y'all too, man. I just want to ask about how y'all vacation was, man. Like country, like how was your time off, bro?
It was fun, man.
Minnesota.
We went to Minnesota, went up to the Mall of America, and shopped till we dropped. My feet were hurting. They still hurt. All that walking. Bro, like, you ever been to Mall of America?
No.
Yeah,
Okay, the best mall ever, and then multiply that by like 10, 15, and that's mall. Like, man, that mall is ridiculous, bro. Like, we probably hit about 80% of the stores. We was there like 3 days in a row.
yeah, it's
Man.
crazy.
9 hours, like we was in there like a work shift, bro. It was crazy, but we went by Prince Studio, which was cool. We had the kids with us. We had all the kids with us, so they were a mess. But man, we had fun. I'm gonna be going to Branson in July too, so I'm looking forward to that. That's a real vacation. That was just a shop ex. It ain't that bad, bro. Like a 6-hour drive. Like driving through Iowa sucks because ain't nothing to look at. You know what I'm saying? But it ain't that bad. Where you go? But
Shit, we just went to Six Flags, St. Louis. Went out there. My son like roller coasters. For his birthday, we went.
bro, that's where we was gonna go. For real, St. Louis. We were gonna go to St. Louis. But you know, Boogie be going to Jamaica and Cabos and Turks and Caicos. Boogie be going on vacation anywhere they got good smoke. That's
That's facts, though. That's big facts.
Hey, what, you got something new at Six Flags? They got some new roller coasters out there?
I've never been before, so I don't know what's new. For real, I ain't never been.
Oh, really? That's your first time ever?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I mean, I've been before. It was straight. That was
Only
awesome.
roller coaster I know about is the Superman roller coaster. That's
No,
the only
that
one I know
Batman.
about.
That Batman roller coaster.
Batman.
Mug.
Okay. Is that
That's
the one where your feet are your feet dangling?
Yeah, bro.
I ain't doing nothing with my feet. Bro, I'm cool. I roll a couple roller coasters in my life. I don't like it, but if my feet dangling, no, I'm good, bro. I am not doing that. Hey, but like I said, man, you need to get up on them subscribers, man. Please like and subscribe to your YouTube channel. We gonna try to get on all streaming platforms. I know at Apple we've been working on it. We still working on it. So we got some things. We got some things coming up. And what's that? What's the app? Twitter Space? Is it?
Yeah, Twitter Spaces. We're definitely gonna go. We're definitely gonna run that back again for the NFL draft. Hopefully, it's not glitchy because I know I was on there this morning. You know, Kevin Durant was on there on his Spaces, and it was still kind of glitchy. So hopefully Twitter get it right, bro.
Kevin Durant. But you didn't go on the Kevin Durant Twitter Space?
Man, I was working, man. I was working.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Oh man, we cannot end this episode without saying rest in peace to DMX.
Yes.
Man.
X to Earl Simmons, man.
Bro, that hurt, bro. This is a Pac Biggie type level, bro. He up there with them, so this is a bad day for hip hop, bro. Like we lost the real one.
Real
Yeah,
legend,
so
man.
let me ask the room, man. Like, what's your favorite moment from DMX or favorite track? Just favorite anything from DMX, if you can come up with it.
Man, that whole first album is crazy. I love that whole first album. And the third album, watching the Hard Knock Life Tour DVD, bro. Like, man, I got so many moments from DMX, bro. DMX, bro. Romeo Must Die, all the movies, bro, that he did. Like, DMX had a hell of a run, bro. He had a good run. I know Belly is one of his best. It's not the best movie in the world, but
it's iconic.
it's a
That's
cult
my shit,
classic.
man.
Yep.
His parts is good. Now Nas can't act, but DMX is his thing, bro. Like, but man, rest in peace DMX, bro. That's it's sad, man, for real.
Terrible. So what you got? What you got, Boogie? As far as your favorite moments from DMX?
Oh, that what you going? How it's going down? That's like one of my favorite songs ever.
Dog, that's my summer anthem, bro.
Yeah, that's
one of them.
shit. That's my
One
shit.
of them.
I like that. Him singing that reindeer shit.
Oh yeah,
That's my shit.
Oh yeah, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Yeah.
Man.
So you're gonna
DMX got so many moments, bro.
What? You got a history. Come on. He always did his ad-libs, though.
Hey, man, when he first came out, bro, it was just like, because it was like the Puff Daddy shiny suit era, bro. And then he came out with this growling and like, what is happening with this dude? Like, is he crazy? Why is he growling? And, man. Then he started making them features, bro. He did so many tracks. And by the time that debut album came out, man, Puff them and fell off. And he single-handedly changed it, made it grimy again, bro. Like, DMX was that dude. Then he hit us again with another album in like 7 months. It's like, bro, like, ain't nobody gonna be able to top how he came out in them first 2 years, like 3 platinum albums, back to back to back. Crazy features, movies, all that stuff, bro. He could have sold dog collars and all. I probably did, but like DMX, man, he one of the greats, bro.
Yeah, man. Like, you know what's crazy, man? Like, I discovered this. Like, do you guys know how he came up with the name DMX? Do you know how he came up with that rapper name?
He was named Darkman X.
Yeah.
His first name was something different. But yeah, it was Darkman X, right?
Right, but do you know where like the idea came from though? Like how he came up with that?
Ain't it like DJ equipment or something?
Yep, that's exactly what it was. Like he was on a beatbox, and it had DMX on the beatbox, the label DMX itself. So he was like, "I'm gonna call myself DMX." Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I'm a hip hop head for real, man.
But
so,
yeah, but yeah,
love, support, and condolences. Love, support, and condolences to his family, bro. Like his whole family, his kids, and everything. He got a lot of kids.
Right.
Love and respect to his family, man. And we have to show our love for him at least.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like my favorite moment from DMX was like just mentioned it. The Hard Knock Life tour with Jay-Z, like him, like it had those freestyle battles, man. Like specifically one when Jay-Z was rocking the Adrian Morel jersey. But yeah, dog, they was going at it, bro. That was an iconic moment. And then like the other night, man, I seen when he first met Rakim in person, and like he was like a kid in the candy store, dog. Like he was like, man, I don't even smile in the pictures, dog, but I'm cheesing like a motherfucker, you know. So that was.
I never got to see DMX live, bro. Like that's my only. I never got to see DMX live, bro. That hurts.
I got.
He was coming to Kansas. He came to Kansas recently, and
I was there.
With I wasn't able to go, or he canceled, or
no,
I never got to see DMX.
I was there, 2019. He was there. I was at that concert.
Okay, so it was my fault, then.
Yeah, it was dope.
Man, I never got to see DMX, bro. But I felt like I seen him because I watched Hard Knock Life so many times, and I know that whole movie front to back. So I feel like I seen him in person before. Like when he would break down and cry during the prayer on stage, like DMX was the realest, bro.
Yeah, somebody mentioned like Irv Gotti was describing like the Apollo performance or whatever, and everybody broke down in there, whatever. He said a prayer, and he's talking about, man, I love y'all, you know. And, like, it was just
that's not like X, man.
Yeah. Rest in power, Earl Simmons, man.
Rest in power, bro. We out, man. We appreciate y'all for listening, man, and keep them subscribers coming, man. We're gonna do something special when we hit 100. and 150 and 2. And as we keep going, man, we gonna get some stuff out there for y'all. We're gonna keep working for y'all, man, provide content. We appreciate y'all. Bug, take us out.
Peace.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Kingdom Kast, we out of here.